Is owning a private island worth it? There are many benefits to owning your own private island, as well as a few drawbacks that you want to consider before taking the plunge and making an offer on your dream island getaway. There are plenty of reasons why owning your private island is worth it, but there are also some pitfalls that you should be aware of before you make the bid. Here's everything you need to know about the ins and outs of buying your own private island. The first big thing about buying a private island is buying the island itself. You dream about having a resort with cabanas, a golf course, and all the things the traveler might need, but not without its shares of rules and pitfalls. Ultimately, a key first step is finding the first site for the home and settling on a dream for what's to come. The cost for that site can vary significantly depending on where you're looking. Take Canada for example. With the highest number of private islands for sale in the world, you can purchase one for less than $200,000 if you really want to pinch pennies. It's not out of reach for the regular person to purchase an island for just under $100,000. Take for example this half island off the coast of Nova Scotia that you can buy for $65,000. Far less expensive than the average house. You can buy this 6-acre island that's less than a mile away from the mainland. There is, however, a price $65,000 is an amazing price for your own personal paradise for just 6 months out of the year. In the winter, temperatures on the half island can be as low as negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit. The only viable season to live in this high wind territory is during the summer. Even then, getting supplies can be a real hassle. When people think of their dream island, they are probably imagining one with white sand beaches and palm trees rather than one that is far off in a cold, remote area. It's likely you're picturing the Caribbean with its miles of palm-lined white sand beaches and serene turquoise waters. The Caribbean is the perfect place to find your tropical oasis of dreams. I'm happy to say that you don't have to spend too much money if you pick an island to visit. When you're looking for a small island, prices can range anywhere from $1 to $3 million. If you're looking for a larger island in the desirable area of the Caribbean, then prices can be anywhere from $30 to $100 million. There are many popular island chains in the Bahamas. The most common ones are the Exumas, the Abaco Islands, and the Berry Islands. High winds in these chains offer an advantage over remote islands. They're close to larger towns and cities, so guests and owners can easily travel to and from these spots, like Spectabilis Islands in the Actius. This island has a total area of 460 acres, including dozens of white sand beaches, scenic hilltop views, and plenty of rooms for buildings, though it's only 230 miles from Miami and only 60 miles from the capital. It's an expensive trip, but it comes added bonus of being able to say I have a piece of an island in the Actius. Apart from that, there are also remote islands in the Caribbean, such as Little Ragged Island, a 700-acre island bidding for $35 million. While Spectabilis is listed for half of the price, you're getting twice the island. The other great thing about Ragged Island is that it has 2 ponds of fresh water, with 30,000 feet of shoreline, which is enough for a 5.6-mile walk on your own private shoreline, with a total population of 72 people. All things considered, if you're going to enjoy nightlife and dine at higher-end establishments, this is not the place for you, regardless the price and where you live. All the islands we've investigated have something in common. They're undeveloped. However, that may seem like a big deal at first. If you have enough money to buy a private island, it would stand to reason that the cost of building a house on the island shouldn't be an issue, right? Unfortunately, not always. In other words, a purchase of a private island does not just mean you have a land for a house. Many other elements go into it. There are several steps you will need to take before you can buy your private island. The first thing you have to do is to find out if your property is for sale and what its price tag is. If it's not yet listed, reach out to the real estate agents in your area. Once they set up an appointment with you, they will give you information on your best option based on location and price. After that, they'll let you know how many interested parties are pursuing it at any given time. For starters, you need to see if you're even able to build on the island. Caribbean islands, for example, have strict environmental regulations for construction. You'll need to undertake an environmental impact study before you can do anything on the island you bought. While this study might not be cheap, it may cost you at least $50,000. These environmental laws are also popular in Canada, where endangered animals may call lakes and ocean islands home. So to build on an island in Ontario specifically, you're only allowed to do so if there's more than an acre of buildable land, meaning scooping up a small island for the cost of your monthly paycheck isn't actually worth it, unless you feel like camping on top of expensive environmental study that takes place before you build it. Environmental regulations can raise the cost of a building by regulating how a company collects water, generates electricity, and arrives on an island. This can include regulations that regulate and protect beautiful lakes and oceans. Considering the environmental regulations will inevitably increase the bill to build the home, shipping in building supplies to the island, among other things, it may be best in your interest to find another place to build your dream home. Once you've spent thousands and thousands of dollars to bring building supplies onto the island, you will need specific types of boats. And when you hire contractors, plumbers, and electricians on the island, you must have them around on a daily basis. If your island is distant from the nearest towns and your building crew needs transportation to the islands, your journey will require vast amounts of capital. You'll also need to build a boat that you prefer for travel. You can also build an airstrip on the island, but building and maintaining airstrip will cost you anywhere from $1,000,000 up. You can also go with a helipad or seaplane dock. These will cost you a decent amount of money, but it'll be cheaper than building an airstrip. It's far more financially viable to buy an already developed island rather than an undeveloped one. One example is the Frozen Cay in the Berry Islands in the Bahamas. The 40-acre island has a $1,000,000 price tag and can be reached by boat or seaplane. It features a 1,000-foot-long beach with powdered sugar sand, dense emerald forest, and the 6-bedroom, 6-bathroom home measuring 4,145 square yards. Oh, and you also have the pool, which is heated, of course. There is also an 806-square-foot manager's cottage and a 15,134-foot staff cottage, as well as a marina with a capacity for up to 100-foot long yachts. Though Frozen Cay does lead to yet another issue with privately owned islands, how much it costs to maintain them. It would seem unlikely that a rich enough person would be able to have the necessary time to put it into one to keep it functioning. It's necessary to have the home occupied so as to avoid being broken into, ripped off, and experiencing any kind of risk. If you're interested in a private island, I recommend that you watch this video to get the skinny on what it costs. There's the potential to make money while you're not living in your home. Private island rentals are really popular among the wealthy. Trinity Cay and the Bahamas are examples. A private island can cost $14,000 per day, but this cost is only for double occupancy. If you bring more than 5 people per day, each person will cost $500 per day at the very least. So you're looking at $16,000 per day, including tips. That's because if you own that island, you could make a lot of money from it. If Trinity Cay rents at its lowest rates for every day of the year, it would generate about $5 million. As for the downsides, there are also many other perks such as owning a private island that come with a wonderful side benefit of additional income. It would be wrong for me not to mention the other benefits, which are simply owning a slice of paradise, all alone miles away from anyone else. There's no joy quite like that. Waking up in the morning and going down to the beach, your beach, chilling with a wine of glass on your deck that faces the oceans in your undies. If you so desire because it's your island, so you make the rules. And then taking off across open water or just swimming around in it. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want, without being judged by anyone. This is why I think buying an island isn't a bad idea. However, I do recommend putting some serious thought into it before making any decisions. There are pros and cons to everything. And even though most of them seem great when they sound exciting, having an entire island all to yourself comes with a price tag attached to it. Lots of reasons people would like to own private islands. Nevertheless, it's time to answer the big question. Is owning a private island worth it? I suppose that depends on how much you value owning a private island. Consider the following: the difficult process of constructing the land you'd build on, expensive requirements and tough transportations of materials, and provisions worth luxuriating on an island of your own. If you were to receive your own private island, what would you name it? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment.